All right, we are back. The news unlocked here on Podcast Unlocked, the world's #1 Xbox podcast. Ryan McCaffrey joined by Destin Legary, Naomi Kyle, and Mitch Dyer. It's good to see you guys. Good to be back for
Indeed.
2014. Yeah. It'll be good to get into Titanfall in less than 9 weeks, right,
8
Mitch?
weeks in like 5 days.
Yeah, something like that.
7 days, 6 days, I don't know.
Count them down. Days.
Mitch,
Do we have a
stay on
countdown
top of
going
this.
yet? We should.
You know, Ryan, I'm excited about Titanfall, but I'm a little concerned about the fact that there's only going to be 6-on-6 multiplayer action.
Oh, really, Destin?
Yeah.
You sound very concerned.
So, yeah, the question was posed to Vince Zampella, of course, the studio head, founder of Respawn, and the man with, as I called it in my original Gamescom preview, the Coca-Cola formula inside his mind. The formula for amazing multiplayer games is the guy that, you know, along with Jason West and the core team at Infinity Ward that is now Respawn, the guy that basically reinvented modern multiplayer first-person shooters for better until it became for worse whenever the rest of the industry spent the next 6 years trying to copy him and whatever. But the point is, Titanfall looks amazing. We've played it.
Yes.
Have all three of you played as well?
I haven't played it yet.
I have.
I mean, you have.
Yeah. Mitch?
I spent a lot of time with Titanfall.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
A lot.
A lot.
Damn.
Probably 2-3 hours.
You lucky
How'd you do
son
that?
of a so-and-so.
Do you mind sharing?
Abby had like a secret after-hours fight club at PAX.
God, I hate you.
It was awesome.
Whoa.
It was great.
Yeah. No,
Invite
it's
me
so
next
you know what I'm talking about, Mitch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
The
talking
game
about.
is legit.
Yeah, it's but there's a little bit of a Twitter hubbub, little online hubbub going on this week.
Yeah.
People are freaking out that Vince said it's a 6-on-6 game. It is 12-player max, and however, despite the fact that you can have, there are AI soldiers around to shoot at as well. They're
Lots.
they're not cannon fodder, but they're also not as equally equipped as you. They're somewhere in between.
They're almost like creeps in a MOBA. Right?
Right.
Like in Dota or League, you're going to have these mobs of dudes who are kind of terrible and exist for you to kill and get points,
Right.
but are also a genuine threat if you're not careful.
Yeah. So they're in there, and hypothetically, if you just stretched out to the max, you could actually have 12 players and 12 Titans operating as AI as well, because you can set your Titan to either guard a spot or follow you. So they can operate without you in there.
Yep.
So, but people nevertheless are up in arms.
Yeah.
This is garbage.
6,000
I
comments
can't.
on the article
Yeah, I
already.
can't believe this is only a 6-on-6
Yeah.
game. Does this bother you guys?
No, because
No.
having played a bunch of Titanfall,
Yeah.
that game feels busy all the time.
Yeah.
There's never a moment where I
Boom.
feel like, you know, it's not happening enough things in this world. Like, it's fine.
I get why people are concerned. I definitely understand where they're coming from. They're like, it's going to be 6 people. I'm never going to see anybody. But when you actually play this game, it is constant action. There's
Their
always
robots are
something
also
happening.
literally falling from space. You're going to see them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
and
not
Mitch,
just an open field of nothingness.
right? Mitch, you remember when you and I were sitting next to each other at the behind closed doors demo at E3, where we weren't actually playing, but there was a game going on 2 screens
Yeah.
in front of us.
2 different guys on
2
different
players,
screens.
and we were saying after that our eyes were nearly gushing blood.
It was like overload.
I can't handle it. Oh God. So yeah, 6-on-6 is when you play the game, you'll understand. But
Yeah.
I think I'm trying to. I was talking with Jared Petty, one of our wiki editors today. He was asking me, Ryan, why do you think this is blown up the way it has into a freak out of the day thing online? And I think there's 2 reasons. And tell me if you guys either agree or if I'm missing any. Number one is that it's the Sony fanboys who are still just aggravated that this became an exclusive, particularly the way it did, where Vince was tweeting, like EA said it was
kind of
exclusive
aggressive about it.
Yeah, and Vince was like, it is, and so I think they feel there are people online that feel robbed of this game, so they're now quick to attack. And then I also think the other sort of more maybe more common thing is that people think that assume that because this is a next-gen game, everything next-gen has to be bigger, and therefore, it's next-gen. Of course, it's going to be like
30 on
64
30.
on 64 action.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's a symptom that the games industry has had for a while.
Yeah.
People think they're entitled to more.
Right.
They're
like,
always trying to one-up each other with the Battlefield.
If a
and
game
Call of
isn't
Duties and-
30, 40 hours long, it's not worth my time. If multiplayer only
Right.
has, 44 people online, like, nope, I don't want to play it. Like, I've never understood that mentality, ever.
Me neither.
Because it's all about the design, right? Like, if the design is
Yeah.
good within the framework of what it's trying to accomplish, great.
Yeah.
That game is awesome. It doesn't need to be triple the size, quadruple the size,
Right.
because it might not work.
How many enemies were there in the first Halo? Like 2 enemy types? 3, including the Flood?
well, there
Wasn't a ton, but the point
Right.
is they made it work within that world.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
what's the big concern about
Well, and the thing I tweeted out that a lot of people seem to agree with was it's laughable to me that people would get up in arms about this because, I'm going to go ahead and trust Vince, the guy who, as I said, I think he knows what he's doing. And I think
They definitely tried with, probably double that, triple that.
Oh, yeah.
They probably
That's-
experimented with, how many Titans can we have on a field at the same time? Let's try that out. And it doesn't work. This works pretty well.
Yeah. So
The maps will determine everything and how everything functions in the world.
I can't wait until it starts getting modded on PC.
Oh, man. Yes.
No support at launch, but people will figure it out anyway.
It'll happen.
Yeah.
And quickly on a related Titanfall note, Mitch, you and I have talked for a while, and you finally used your nose for news to dig into this a little bit and just try and sniff around. It is a little odd that we are less than 9 weeks from launch, and no one has seen the Xbox 360 version of this game, which, as you duly pointed out, is likely to actually sell the most, even if it doesn't get the most attention, just because of the installed base factor.
Yeah, I mean, the Titanfall that most people are taking home because of the install base of the Xbox 360, which is, like 40 million?
Oh, double that.
80 million. 80 million people who are looking at that game are the people who are going to take that home are probably Xbox 360 owners, not Xbox One owners. So the most people that are taking that home are not taking home Respawn's game because Xbox 360 Titanfall is done by a different studio.
Right.
We don't know who that is.
Xbox One and PC versions are Respawn.
Yes.
It's the 360 versions being outsourced to someone else, and
And Respawn did work on the 360 version. Like they started out with that like on 360 and then moved it up to next gen. And somebody else is doing it. We still don't know who.
Yeah, so we have nobody's seen the 360 version. Nobody knows who's working on it.
Chilingo.
Put
it out there. Maybe.
Is
They
that
don't
how Levi
work.
works? Is Levi making it?
Mitch, who are the likely candidates? Do we have a short list of
So
who it could be?
Chilingo.
The best guess that I've heard from a peer of mine was Hidden Path, the guys who did Counter-Strike Go. They're a shooter developer. They know what they're doing. They work with Source a lot. They'd be
That's
like
true.
a really great candidate.
And, well, are they owned by anyone?
Now they're indie.
Okay, so they're free to sign on to a project like this.
But EA told me like this is a studio that Respawn handpicked. They picked who's doing this, so
Right.
they trust this team. I have no idea who it could be. I speculated in the story like Digital Extremes, Dice LA.
There's one other one that one of my Twitter followers mentioned to me that I don't know if he spoke up to you as well. That's actually was a pretty good candidate. What about Certain Affinity?
That came up in conversation with a friend as well. That'd be a really they do Halo stuff.
They
a lot
don't.
of the time.
They haven't worked in Source per se, but they've been working very closely with.
They always work in different engines. Like they always work in
right,
other people's
343. They've done Halo maps
Yeah.
for years, and they've done Call of Duty maps for the last couple of Call of Duties as well.
Yeah.
Gearbox? No, they ported Halo 1.
Yeah, they're not busy enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I have no idea.
If
who
you
would
want to make a
port
bet
I
with
know,
me on
yeah.
that one, Destin, let's go ahead
joke.
and lay
Hey,
it
Alien
down.
Isolation looks pretty cool though.
WB Montreal. It's my bet. No.
I don't
Not at
know.
all.
I don't think that would work.
You just got Batman on the brain
I was
all
just
day.
like, Montreal, they've been doing everything now, so.
So
who knows?
Titanfall coming in. Well, if you're a student, 1 quarter. Not at least when I was in school, it was 9 weeks was a quarter.
Man, I
in
never
school.
did that.
No,
I do that now that I'm in this industry.
Yeah,
Looking at that release calendar, I can't believe
Yeah.
it's March. That's exciting.
yeah. It's so basically we're 2 months to go.
Yep.
We will have a lot more on Titanfall, including we will find out one way or the other who's doing the Xbox 360
Mitch
version.
is on the case.
And we'll find a way to play it and,
Yeah.
and find out if it's any good.
I think it'll be on the back of the box. Just a hunch.
So, it says right here, Hidden Path. All right. So for more on Titanfall, obviously you know where to be here on IGN and Podcast Unlocked.